Every construction business is unique, and sometimes the standard fields in Sage Intacct don't capture everything you need. That's where custom fields come in. In this video, I'm going to show you how to define custom fields for your project so you can track business-specific data that matters most to your organization. Custom fields allows you to extend Sage Intacct's objects like projects, for example, with additional data fields that you define yourself. Using an easy-to-use wizard, you can add fields tailored to your business-specific needs without any complex configuration. For construction projects, that might mean adding fields to the project setup page like project address or tax exempt, maybe certified payroll. These are just some examples here. You might want to track your project address and have that added to your progress billing. Or if you are using certified payroll, you might want to be aware of that when you're running your bills so you know what is required for your billing packages. Once added, these fields will appear directly on the project page here. So this makes sure your team always captures the right information during setup. So to add a tax exempt field here, I need to make sure I'm at top level. You add through platform services. Make sure that you do have access to top level and platform services. And right here, we'll go into our custom fields. You can see here that these are all the custom fields I've made so far. I can select the object here. So if I'm curious what project fields I have, I can type that in. And these are all the project fields I have, and there's some project contract fields as well. I can edit one of the project fields and duplicate if I'd like, so it stays on that object, or I can add it right here. So I need to select the project object because that's the page we're adding this field to. You might see jobs here as well, depending on your setup. I would like a checkbox. So if I have certified payroll or this project is tax exempt, I would just like to check that. You also have options between pick list, this is a good one, or you can just select text if you're entering your project address. I'm going to call this tax exempt. You could choose a default value. I'd like to default it to unchecked. And this is the field ID. If I was adding this to any printed document templates, this would be the merge field that I would use. You can add a description here, and please note that anything with an asterisk is required. Select next. And then you have some deployment options here. You can mark this field as required. If you do so and you're using any project imports, you will need to have that field added to the import file or you'll receive an error. You can have the field hidden, or you can mark this field as an active if you're no longer tracking tax exempt projects. And then you can choose what section the field appears on the page or the tab where it appears. So I'm going to choose the project page. If this were maybe a second project manager I would like to add to a project, and I wanted this to show within the people page, I would just type people here. Select done. And I would also like to track the project address. So I'm going to go into one of the project fields here to edit, and I'm just going to duplicate because then I don't need to pick it from the list. It just saves you a bit of time. Select next. And this data type field was date. I would like to have a text field so I can type in my address. And you can set the length here. This will be your merge field. Select next. If I always had a project address that I need to track in the project, I could select required here, but maybe you don't get that address as soon as you win the project. Select project. And from here, I'm going to select save and new. I have a few address fields to add. So it'll keep that project object as well as the data type. And I can come in here and update the label. The length will stay the same, and then the field ID will need to be updated as well. Now I'm going to add the project city. Save and new. I love that it keeps you on the page. So I changed the length for the state, but you can leave it at 300 if you'd like. Save and new. We have one more field to add, the zip code. So now I've added some custom fields for the project page. Let's head into the projects module and we'll go to the setup. Now if I add a new project, I have some new fields here now. I have an option to mark this project tax exempt, and I can also add my project addresses. From here, I can create a smart event to write into POs, so that address will transfer into that section of Intacct. I can write a smart event into order entry, so I can have that project address on my pay apps or my invoices. There's some things you can do here to make it easier on you. And then what's nice about this is you can also capture this in reports. You can make decisions off this, and then project managers will also have access to this as well. So I was mentioning here, if I wanted to add a second project manager custom field, because you can only select one here, I can, within the custom field, if I needed it to show up in the people section, I can just put people here. This is I want it to show within the people section. Thank you for watching.